To FOMO or not to FOMO? That is the question. Well, here it is, folks. Curse City returns this March for 2 weeks. Made a story about this a little bit ago. G-Dubs announcing that they were bringing back Curse City, and true to their word, they are bringing back Curse City, but in 2 parts, interestingly enough. So here it is, the formal announcement. Curse City is back in all its glory. We are going to get a made-to-order basis from Saturday, the 5th of March, for a 2-week period. So, that's part A, right? Part B is... Let's scroll down past all this. Is this. Don't think you'll be able to grab a copy this March? There's no need to worry. Curse City will be receiving a full relaunch later this year, along with some juicy new expansions. Now, that's good news that they're bringing it back permanently, and then they're bringing back expansions. Getting a very big Blackstone Fortress feel to this, which is great also because in other news, they announced a little bit ago that they're bringing back Blackstone Fortress. Now, whether that's going to be a limited print run or not is to be determined. In addition, we'll see if they bring back any of the expansions. I myself got into Black Fortress a little late, and I missed a lot of the expansions. I'm hoping they bring back the full set so I can get those expansions, because Blackstone Fortress is a fantastic game, and I would love to play them. But I digress. Back to the old Curse City. So it's interesting to me that you're going to get a 2-week made-to-order kind of pre-FOMO release. My theory on this is that they're putting feelers out there to gauge interest, and based on this interest, well, it's going to be twofold, right? Based on the interest they get from all the pre-orders here for the next 2 weeks, will probably help determine the print run for the expansion. In addition to that, it'll probably help determine the demand for how much Curse City they keep in permanent rotation so they don't overprint or underprint. I'd like to believe that's true. We'll see if that's the case or not. Honestly, that's really the only reason I can think of as to why they would bring it back for 2 weeks and then take it away again, only to bring it back later this year with some expansions. I mean, are they, the other side to that is they promised it, they're delivering it like they said they would. Maybe they weren't ready for the production run that they thought they were going to be, so they're FOMOing it for now until they can release it permanently. I don't know. But still, I mean, it's print on demand. So, and it's a guaranteed get for the next 2 weeks. So if you order it, you are going to get it. Now, they say it may take until May for you to get it, or later, but you are going to get it. So I don't know. It's an interesting scenario here. The other thing to consider is, do you get it now and risk it going up in price later in the year when it releases, it comes back on a permanent basis? Are they going to keep the price point the same for this release as they did for when it came out last year? Or is it going to be a little more expensive and then a little more expensive when it comes out permanently? Because we all know that G-Dubs likes doing price increases. And this release certainly is after a recent price increase, but the game came out before and couldn't meet demand the last increase. So it's kind of a weird thing. We'll have to see. I haven't seen anything on here about how much it's going to be. The contents, though, are exactly the same as the previous release. I mean, I have the previous release, and this is all the same. I mean, you get the 8 heroes, you get the quest book, the rule book, you get all the monsters, you get objective markers. The War Scrolls book is pretty cool because you get Age of Sigmar rules for every model in here. So you can bring them to your Age of Sigmar armies. I mean, they've kind of always done that. But it's still cool that they at least do that for you, so you can bring, the named baddies like the Crimson Court, or not the Crimson Court, but the Vampire Triplets and the main bad guy here, and then you got some Skellies, etc. that you can, some zombies. It's actually, I mean, with 42 monsters, it's not a terrible start to an undead army or a vampire-ish themed army for Age of Sigmar. Plus, you get the cool little heroes that you can bring into whatever. You get a wood elf. You get a little bit of every flavor of army here for Age of Sigmar. I mean, not every, but mostly. You get a dwarf, a wood elf, some mercenaries. You get some free companies, etc. that you can use in your Age of Sigmar armies. The one thing that can be said is that the quality of all the contents in this box were extraordinary, and I can only hope that it's the same quality that you got in the previous release. I have no reason to believe it's not. I mean, this is a stock picture from the last release, and if they're using this picture, I would assume it's going to be the same quality of content. I mean, really nice, thick board tiles that are printed very well and laminated very well. So, again, same box contents. I thought it was interesting, though, that, we're going to bring it back for 2 weeks, and then it's going to go away for a while, and then it's going to come back on a permanent basis with some expansions. Just kind of a weird little thing, but again, I believe that they're trying to get an Iggy for demand, so they know how deep to stock this thing for when they do go full tilt and it becomes a permanent fixture in their store. So we'll see. Hope you enjoyed the little news segment here. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I would actually love to hear the community's thoughts on why this is doing a 2-week FOMO and then coming back later in the year. I always love getting into discussions and talking about whether that's good or bad, how things are going with G-dubs and stuff like this, which is a very curious situation. So yeah, until next time, friends, my name's Phil. This has been Yoshi's Painting. Keep slapping paint.